So I got my two Lasius flavus colonies yin and yang about a month ago, and if I'm being completely honest, I still don't know which one is which, and I'm only going to make it worse with this video. But that's not the point. The point is that winter is coming, and with it hibernation. But the current tubes that the colonies are in will not last through the winter because they've got a little bit of mould, and also the water level has gone down quite a bit, so by the end they will either have fully moulded over or the ants will have no water to drink. Both options aren't really that good. So, like the famed inventor and artist Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm going to invent a brand new method of housing ants. One that has never been seen by mere mortals before. I'm going to put some soil and moss inside a Sainsbury's spice jar. Not with the spices in, I've finished those and then I washed it and peeled the labels off. And first, let's put in a few dirt balls. I believe that the nerdy word that people like AntScapes would use would be hydroton. Don't take that seriously, by the way. AntScapes is really cool. You should totally go watch him. After the dirt balls, we're going to add in some cocoa fibre and then some moss from the moss bin. You know, the one that I told you to make in a video a few weeks ago. Yeah, that one. I took the lids of the jars on a quick trip to Croydon to get some holes into them so that the ants could breathe. And now they're pretty much finished. Before we move these Lasius flavus colonies in, let's give them a mealworm. This will help eggs develop inside the queen and develop into larvae once they've been laid. I've realised that as they are in their current state, these setups are a bit too moist and boggy, so I took some of the water out with a syringe. The only way I can really move these ants into the new spice jar setups is by tapping them in. I don't think I could get them to move in. Well, I could cut a hole the size of the tube in the lid and then put it in, but then I couldn't I'm tapping them in. And I was scared that if I tapped them in, eggs might get lost in the water pockets all around the setup, and that would set back the colony quite a bit, as I believe these are the first generation of eggs that the queen has actually laid, since the first generation of workers were actually just brood boosted workers. So I put down some greaseproof paper as a landing pad for all the eggs and workers. Sometimes if the workers or queen are being stubborn and clinging to the cotton and not going out, I just prod them a bit with a syringe. Very gently though. After all, I am a very caring ant keeper. Let's give the ants some Biformica ant nectar. This video isn't sponsored, just... I got it in a giveaway from Ants Davy, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do when it's gone, because I'm cheap and I don't want to buy more. This is off topic, back to the video. I'm currently filming at the closest I can with the equipment I currently have. A 1:1 macro lens and 3 extension tubes. And at least in my opinion, it looks great. Speaking of great, let's look at my Myrmica rubra setup because there's something I want to show you. This setup is doing alright, it's just that some of the plants that I initially put in haven't really rooted into the soil properly, so I'm not sure if they're going to survive. So in a few weeks time, I'll make a judgment on if I need to move in some more plants, like this plant. Look at that. This plant. Too big. Or this plant. It's plastic. I bamboozled you. In the meanwhile, look at this. There are some mealworm carcasses littered around the setup, and they've been here just for way too long. Or rather, I've procrastinated cleaning them up for way too long. So let's go ahead and remove them now. Believe it or not, when I first created this setup a few years ago, it looked pretty good, but through continual negligence, like not removing mealworm carcasses and not watering the plants on time, it devolved into looking horrible. and I don't want the same to happen to this, so you need to keep on doing the maintenance that you need to do. So at home, if you have an ant colony that you need to take care of but you've been putting it off, or some plants that you need to water, go and do it now. You'll thank me later. And with that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, then like and subscribe. If you didn't, then don't, and I'll see you. What do I want to say? Oh, I'm on 409 subs now, so I think I'm on track to hit 500 by the end of the year, and the YouTube statistics line up with that, so that's good. I'm gonna get 500 by Christmas. Mark my words. Anyway, bye.